morning, everyone. So we have the pleasure to present to you the School Management Evaluation and Adjustment Report for the first and second quarter of the calendar year 2022. Presenting to you KRA number 1, which is Instructional Leadership. So for the physical outputs, we have a target for quarter 1, 14,127, and we have an actual accomplishment of 68,621. So for the target for the quarter 2, we have 42,753, and we have an actual accomplishment of 65,154. Now for the number of planned activities, we have target for quarter 1 and quarter 2. We have 9, and we actually have an accomplishment of 13, and that is 144% for quarter 1 and quarter 2. Now for the highlights of accomplishment for the instructional leadership. For technical assistance for K-12, curriculum implementation, remote learning modality system, instructional management, content mastery, and technical assistance on learning assessment, we have 65 on both first quarter and second quarter, for we have 65 teachers. For the continuation of the highlights of the accomplishment, we have request acquisition of additional learning materials, reference materials, activity sheet by grade level. We have for the first quarter 8,838, and for the second quarter we have 23,490. Reproduction of additional learning materials for first quarter, we have 58,449. For second quarter, we have 40,901. For the request or acquisition of science and math equipment, we have 37 for the first quarter. We have 32 for the second quarter. For the development of localized or contextualized learning materials by learning areas, we have 1 for the first quarter and none for the second quarter. Now, regular instructional supervision to teaching personnel by grade level, learning area conducted. For both quarters, we have 65. Acquisition of ICT materials for learning or the tablets, we have 26 total in quarter 1 and none in quarter 2. Acquisition of USB or OTG, for the quarter 1, we have 749 and none in quarter 2. Monitoring online and face-to-face classes, we have both for the 2 quarters, we have 65. The conduct of school safety assessment, we have 1 for both quarter. Evaluation of learning through ELNA and NAT, so we conducted 211 in the second quarter. So weekly learning plan of teachers, regular submission of 65 teachers for first quarter and second quarter, and that is a total for the first quarter 68,621, and for the second quarter 65,154.
For KRA number 2, learning environment, our physical outputs for quarter 1, our target is 164, while our accomplishment is 204. For KRA number 2, our targets is 104. Our accomplishments is 112. For the number of planned activities, our target for quarter 1 is 11. Same as our accomplishments, 11 also. That gives us 100%. For quarter 2, our target is 8. Our accomplished outputs is 10. And that gives us 125% for quarter 2. And for the highlights of the accomplishments, constructions of wash facilities for the face-to-face class, we have 1 for quarter 1, we have 0 for quarter 2. Equipment outlay request acquisition, provisions of office, IT, and scientific equipment, we have 13 for quarter 1, we have 6 for quarter 2. For annual safety and hazard inspection of schools, we have 0 for quarter 1, we have 2 for quarter 2. For classroom evaluations, we have 51 for quarter 1, we have 0 for quarter 2. Okay, for the continuation, we have installed no-contact terminal scanners and alcohol dispensers in different buildings. We have 6 in quarter 1, we have 3 in quarter 2. We have prepared 31 classrooms for face-to-face classes in quarter 1. We have 11 additional classrooms in quarter 2. And then for the markings and signages, we have 10 in quarter 1. We have 11 in quarter 2. And then for the installation of triage areas, we have 2 in quarter 1. We have 0 in quarter 2. For the revitalization of gulayan sa paaralan, we have 3 in quarter 1, we have 0 in quarter 2. Disinfections of classroom and other school facilities, we have 51 for both quarter 1 and quarter 2. We have repaired deep well systems, we have 2 in quarter 1, we have 0 in quarter 2. For the repair of comfort rooms under MOOE, we have 3 in quarter 1, we have 0 in quarter 2. And for the embankment of school grounds and construction of Line Canal, we have 1 for both quarter 1 and quarter 2. Rehabilitation of mini forest or science garden, we have 0 in quarter 1, we have 1 in quarter 2. For the improvisation of hand washing facility, we have 30 in quarter 1, we have 11 in quarter 2. And then for the polling precincts, clinic, trash areas, we have 0 in quarter 1, we have 15 in quarter 2.
Okay, good day po. For KRA number 3, Parents Involvement and Community Partnership. For physical output, we have the targets. For quarter 1, 1,202. For quarter 2, 569. And accomplishment is 1,512 for quarter 1. For quarter 2 is 864. So, number of planned activities for quarter 1, targeted 7 and accomplished 7. So, accomplishment is 100%. For quarter 2, 16 and accomplished 16 din po. And then 100% accomplished. Highlights of accomplishment program, projects and activities. So, conducted parents conferences. Quarter 1, 3. Quarter 2, 3. Conducted conference with LGU, Barangay Official Civil Society, Organization, NGOs, 3. And quarter 2, 3. Establish partnership to support education initiative and implementation of PPAs. Quarter 1, 3. Quarter 2, 3. Number of partners in education, ASP-related activities conducted, 50 for quarter 1. Quarter 2, 34. And then receive health and safety materials from some private individuals. Quarter 1, 10. Quarter 2, 5. Okay po, for continuation, we have the provision of additional waiting area. Quarter 1 is 2. Quarter 2, 0. Receive and health safety materials for COMELEC, 0 for quarter 1. Quarter 2 is 5. Receive Dito SIM card from Dito Telecom for teaching and non-teaching parents and learners. Quarter 1 is 0. Quarter 2, 300. ASP reports, quarter 1, 3. Quarter 2, 3. Special events and announcement, 2 for quarter 1. Quarter 2 is 1. GPTA project proposal, quarter 1 is 1. Quarter 2, 1. School memoranda, 9 for quarter 1. 14 for quarter 2. Coordination with barangay officials, 3 for quarter 1. Quarter 2 is 3. Embankment of school grounds and construction of lined canal, quarter 1, 1. Quarter 2, 1. Triage area, quarter 1, 2. Quarter 2, 0. Health and safety materials, 200 for quarter 1 and quarter 2, 100. So, total po is 223 for quarter 1, quarter 2 is 328.
Okay, good day everyone. So for KRA 4, Human Resource Management and Development, for physical outputs, our targets are 1,090 for quarter 1 and we have accomplished 1,139. And then for quarter 2, our targets are 686 and we have accomplished 686. For the number of planned activities for quarter 1, we targeted 15 and we have accomplished 17. And then for quarter 2, we targeted 20 and we have accomplished 20. So for the highlights of accomplishment, so we have the PPA and then quarter 1 and quarter 2. So first, we have management of personnel records or updating of 201 files of personnel. So for quarter 1, 65. So we have consolidated all the information. So it is okay for quarter 2. Then for the salary adjustment of personnel implemented, 65. So all teaching personnel. And then for application for step increment submitted for processing, we have 3 for quarter 1 and 3 also for quarter 2. And then for school-led training and capacity building activities conducted through MOOE fund, we have 1 for quarter 1 and then 0 for quarter 2. And as you can see, we have the attendance to international training, seminars, workshop, and conferences. So we have included the titles and also the respective participants in each training. And then we also have the national training, seminars, workshops, conferences, as I've said. So we have the titles and also the participants, as well as the attendance to regional trainings, seminars, workshop, and conferences. And then we have the attendance to SDO-led training, seminars, workshop, conferences. So we also we have the different titles and also the participants. Same as the next slide. And now, for School Learning Action Cell, we have 5 for quarter 1 and we have 3 for quarter 2. And then in the in-service training, the participants, we have 65. And for perform coaching and mentoring activities, we have 65 for both quarters. While the orientation on the implementation of face-to-face classes, so for quarter 1, we have 700 and then we have 339 for quarter 2. And then next is the school online meeting of grade 1 teachers and grade leaders with learning resource and information communication technology coordinators and school head. So we have 38 for quarter 1. Then meeting with SCT, SBM, and SMEA team, we have 22 for quarter 1. Meeting of school composite team in quarter 1 also, we have 13. Simulation of limited face-to-face classes, 2 for quarter 1. CamStan for teachers, 65 for quarter 1. Next, for the avail of COVID-19 booster shots, we have 37 for quarter 1 and then none for quarter 2. Then attendance to PESPA, PASA-related trainings and seminars, we have 1 for quarter 2. Then conducted planning meeting for the school in-service training, we have 1 for quarter 2. Then in-service training on psycho-educational approaches for supporting learners with special needs, we have 65 participants. And for values-based leadership training workshop, we have 1 for quarter 2. Orientation on National School Building Inventory, we have 5 for quarter 2 again. Teachers attended in orientation and seminar of National Election 2022, 39. And then reviewed and evaluated IPCRF of teachers, 0 because we will conduct it in July. Next slide po. Implemented health and wellness program for school personnel, we have 2. So as we can see, it is all included in quarter 2. So implemented GAD-related projects and activities. So it is the number of GAD-related activities conducted, 4. And then the next one is the school personnel benefited from GAD-related activities, 71, including the non-teaching personnel. And then number of research and development activities attended conducted by SDO, we have 1. School Research and Development Initiative, the submitted research proposals, we have 3. And then the implemented approved proposals, we have 0. And for researchers meeting, we have 10. Division Research Congress, we have 10. And then for postgraduate studies, personnel who pursued graduate studies this year, we have 16 for quarter 1 and quarter 2. And then completed postgraduate studies this year, 0, and a total of 1,192 for quarter 1 and 686 for quarter 2. Now let's proceed for KRA 5, School Leadership, Management and Operation. For physical outputs for quarter 1, our targets are 3,796 and our accomplishments are 4,201. For quarter 2, our targets are 6,880 and our accomplishments are 6,895. Now for the number of planned activities, for quarter 1, we targeted 38 and our accomplished are 57. Percent of accomplishment, 150%. For quarter 2, we targeted 64 and we accomplished 64. Percent of accomplishment, 100%. Now, the highlights of our accomplishment. These are the programs, projects, and activities. Enhanced Annual Implementation Plan. For both quarters, we have 1. School Strategic Planning related activities. For both quarters, we have 3. Meeting with the SMEA team. For quarter 1, we have 1. For quarter 2, we have 3. Orientation of the school EBIS team. For both quarters, we have 1. Division Manco. For quarter 1, we have 2. And for quarter 2, we have 1. To be continued, uploading of the GASP and GAHSP in the EBIS. For quarter 1, we have none. For quarter 2, we have 2. Training proposal preparation. For quarter 1, we have 1. And for quarter 2, we have 2. Work and financial plans. We have 1 for quarter 1 and 3 for quarter 2. Updating the school-based management corner. We have 2 for quarter 1 and 3 for quarter 2. Enhanced system for quality assurance MNE and field technical assistant. For both quarters, we have 3. School validation of SSA80 for the progressive limited face-to-face classes. For quarter 1, we have none, and for quarter 2, we have 2. Agency procurement request APR. For both quarters, we have 2. For programs, project activities, conduct of regular faculty and staff meeting. For quarter 1, we have 3, and for quarter 2, we have 12. Faculty meeting for both quarters, we have 12. Meeting with composite team for both quarters, we have 13. Preparation and submission of contingency plans, proposal and concept papers for school-based curriculum, and co-curricular programs, projects, and activities. For quarter 1, we have 3, and for quarter 2, we have 6. Implementation of school-based curricular and co-curricular PPAs. For quarter 1, we have 15, and for quarter 2, we have 6. School-based feeding program under SBF Fund. For both quarters, we have 241. School-based deworming. For quarter 1, we have 9, and for quarter 2, we have 600. School-based MR immunization. For quarter 1, we have 0. For quarter 2, we have 200. Universal dental and medical check-up. For quarter 1, we have none and 1,000 for quarter 2. School health advocacy program. For quarter 1, we have 4. For quarter 2, we have 2. Nationwide simultaneous circuit drill. For quarter 1, we have 4. And for quarter 2, we have 2.
School DRM advocacy program. For quarter 1, we have 4. And for quarter 2, we have 2. For the SDO integrated competitions related activities. For quarter 2, we have 2. Gulayan sa paaralan. For quarter 2, we have 6 for elementary and 4 for junior high school. Well, the waste segregation and management, we have 4 for elementary and 4 for junior high school for quarter 1 and quarter 2. The request acquisition of gardens and crop production tools, so we have 40 for quarter 2. The Boy Scouts of the Philippines, we have 200, and Girl Scout of the Philippines is 50. For the youth development sessions in support to 4Ps implementation, we have 40. Next is the implementation of National Drug Education Program or the NDEP. We have 1 for both quarters. And the implementation of School Guidance Program, implementation of School Child-Friendly and Child Protection Policy Program, we have 1 for quarter 1 and quarter 2. The implementation of SARDO or PARDO and DORF, we have 2 for both quarters. The implementation of Alternative Learning System or ALS program, we have 1 for both quarters. The implementation of Special Education program, we have 4 for quarter 1 and quarter 2. While the implementation of Madrasa program, we have 7 learners for quarter 1 and quarter 2. The implementation of Madrasa program, we have 1 for both quarters. The implementation of elementary special science class program, we have 6 for quarter 1 and quarter 2. The enhancement of basic education information system, and which is the beginning of school year encoding, we have 2 for quarter 1 and quarter 2. Also, for the enhanced basic education information system or the end of school year encoding, we have 2 for quarter 1 and quarter. For the learner information system, for BOSI, updating of learner's profile, for quarter 1 and quarter 2, we have 2,140. And for EOC, which is the updating of learner's profile, we also have 2,140 for both quarters. For the program management information system, we have none for quarter 1 and quarter 2. The implementation of DepEd computerization program, we have 3 for both quarters. Maintenance of school website and social media accounts, we have 1 for both quarters. The school MOOE downloading, we have 3 for both quarters. The school MOOE liquidation, we have 3 for quarter 1 and 2 for quarter 2. The planning meeting of for the July to December budget, we have none for quarter 1 and 1 for quarter 2. The office supplies expenses for quarter 1, we have 2. So we obtained 341,273.61 pesos for elementary, while 63,015 pesos for junior high school. For quarter 2, we have 2. 1 for elementary, which cost 116,667.80 pesos, while for junior high school, we have 51,272.03. For the payments for electricity expenses for quarter 1, we have 70,031.10 pesos. For the quarter 2, we have 130,093.23 pesos. For the payments for internet expenses for quarter 1 and quarter 2, we have 15,297 pesos. For the payments for communication expenses, we have 3,000 for both quarters. Next is the traveling expenses. We have 4 in quarter 1, which cost 3,000 pesos for elementary and 3,000 pesos for junior high school. While in the quarter 2, we have 3,000 pesos for elementary and 6,000 pesos for junior high school. And for the additional MOOE, we have 3 for quarter 2, which cost 38,000 pesos for elementary and 71,000 pesos for junior high school. For the enhanced system for quality assurance, MNE, and field technical assistance, for quarter 1 and quarter 2, we have 2. The improved assessment result for organizational effectiveness of schools aligned to National Assessment Framework, we have 2 for quarter 2. The improved monitoring and compliance to submission of required reports, we have 1 for both quarters. The preparation and submission of school report cards, we have 1 for quarter 1. For teachers, PDS, and SALN, we have 65 for both quarter 1 and quarter 2. For the dissemination of DepEd orders, memo, and advisory, we have 12 for both quarters. The training proposal and preparations, we have 1 for quarter 1 and 2 for quarter 2. And last is the field monitoring by the central office on the implementation of face-to-face classes is we have 1 for quarter 2.
Good day, everyone. Here are the analysis and findings on quantitative information on achievements of target. So these are the facilitating factors that contribute to the achievements of the targets for quarter 1 and quarter 2. So in the first quarter, is school harmonious relationship with the stakeholders. Second is the adherence to the administrative and supervisory plan prepared by the school head. provisions, and additional trainings and seminars to help bridge the learning gaps. We have clear and concise communications to strengthen and maintain on the time submissions of forms for MOOE, downloading, and liquidation. And we have continuous communication to the faculty to ensure the smooth implementations of the project's PPAs. Strengthen the involvement of the parents and stakeholders to help address the learners' needs as well as the school needs. Strengthen the parents' involvement in the monitoring and academic performance and their child's academic performance and progress. And encouragement of the school heads in attending seminars, workshops, and enrolling to masteral or doctoral courses for professional development. And here are the facilitating factors for the second quarter. So we have also a school harmonious relationship with the local government unit and stakeholders, and the implementations of our DepEd computerization program. We have also regular monitoring on both online and face-to-face classes, checking of WLP and teaching personnel, and relaying informations learned from the different seminars, workshops, and conferences attended. We also implementations of GAD-related activities and projects, enhanced annual implementation plans, and other school strategic planning related activities. Help also reporting to stakeholders through conferences, meetings, and establishing partnership with them. And we have also transparency in the utilization of the MOO funds and donations of the stakeholders. And last, the proper distribution of tasks to the school personnel. Based on the actions or initiative contributed to the target, the lesson learned that we gathered is, in the first quarter, one of the lessons learned in the importance of the following and strengthening the school health protocols to help in the delivery of continuous quality education. This, aside from equipping the teachers with skills that will help them identify, address, and bridge the learning gaps our learners experience since the transition from the distance learning to limited face-to-face. And seeing involvement of our stakeholders through monitoring of the school programs, learners' progress, and other needs for them to be able to achieve the highest possible quality education. In the second quarter, the lesson learned that we gathered, the joint effort of the school administrations together with the teaching and non-teaching staff became instrumental in the success of acquiring the target goals for the first and second quarters. The continuous professional developments of teachers and support provided by the school head and the school division through the conduct of trainings and technical support provided a strong foundation on the provisions of quality education. Assessment and monitoring of learners' progress using the different tools will enable the teachers to plan effectively on how to address the issues, concerns, and problems. Building a strong partnership with parents and other stakeholders also enable the institution to maintain the cleanliness, beautification, and sustain the learners and school needs. Transparency are also a grateful in the school progress.
And for the status of identified unaccomplished outputs for quarter 1 and 2, this calendar year 2022, we have here the key results area, the programs, projects, and activities, the descriptions of unaccomplished outputs, the reasons and issues, and the status to date. So for the KRA, number 1, 2, and 3, the instructional supervision, the learning environment, and the parents' involvement and community partnership, we have none or we don't have any unaccomplished outputs for that KRA. And for the KRA number 4, which is the Human and Resource Management Development, for the programs, we have the implementation of research proposal. For the description, we have submitted proposals but are not yet approved. And for the reasons, we are still waiting for the approval of the proposals and our status is still on process. For grant number 5, we have the school leadership, management, and operation. For the programs and activities, the downloading and liquidation of MOOE fund for the month of June. And for the description, we have the downloading. For the elementary is still on the process. And for the reasons, we have the miscommunications between the ADAS 3 and the school clerk. And for the status, we are still on process. For the next slide, we have here the analysis and findings on quantitative information on achievements of targets. So the first question is, what were the causes of your unaccomplished outputs for the quarter? So we list down 3 answers. First is it improved employees' welfare. We have COVID-19 boosters shots aren't received by all the teachers. Next is the in-school research and professional development. Proposals are not yet approved and also ongoing classes to complete in masteral degree. And last, we have, due to the late issuance of RPMS guidelines, some difficulties in the scheduling of coaching and mentoring activities were met. So we have here the hindering factors. What internal processes contributed to your unaccomplished outputs? We have the conflict of the schedule of the teachers. Important and urgent activities need to prioritize. Teachers are still attending necessary courses before starting research. And there are still school-based activities and tasks that need to be accomplished immediately. And lastly is for the issues for attention of higher management. What are the suggested actions for these unaccomplished outputs? First is the proper planning of schedule among teachers. We also strictly follow the schedule of activities that needs to be done immediately. Provide technical assistance and trainings in conducting school-based research, and focus on school-based activities and tasks that need to be accomplished immediately.
Teamwork divides the task and multiplies the success. Thank you for listening from Saluysoy Integrated School SMEA team.